Pija Awamua, Haumu, Nu Carrie Brown, Minanya, Nu Namudawe, Odinowe, Inobi Kuyui Takara. If you are unversed in Northern Paiute, please allow me to translate. Good morning, how are all of you? My name is Carrie Brown, I'm from the Reno Sparks Indian Colony, and my home is at Pyramid Lake. I was born and raised to Brenda Brown, a single mother and member of the Reno Sparks Indian Colony. I graduated from Sparks High School with top honors, third in my class, and at the top 5% of Nevada's high school graduates. I graduated from Truckee Meadows Community College 2 years later, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas 2 years after that. I got married, got divorced. I fought cancer, and I won twice. But for 10 years, I was lost. To give you a little more detail, when I was 17, I graduated from high school and I was kicked out of my commencement ceremony for having a beaded mortar board and an eagle feather, very similar to the one that I'm wearing today. Being removed from my high school graduation made me feel like no matter how hard I worked or how decorated I was as a student, I was never going to be good enough or tolerated by the educational system. This will be my third graduation since then. I always feel slightly paranoid now when I graduate. I feel like I don't belong. However, my WGU degree and commencement is different. I fought with it, I struggled with it, and I wanted to give up several times. But it's mine, I earned it, and what's more, I feel like I do belong. Going back to the event of my high school graduation, it taught me two salient lessons that have played reoccurring themes in my life. The first lesson is that I am far more likely to regret the things that I didn't do versus the things that I did. I have never once looked back and regretted any decision to be true to myself, even at the cost of a rite of passage, like my high school graduation. Like me, I don't think any of you will ever regret having continued your education at WGU. The second lesson I learned was that I thought I was always going to have to make a choice between quenching my thirst for education and embracing my culture. I thought that unless I went to a tribal school, those two constructs are mutually exclusive and cannot coexist. In the years following my high school graduation, in many ways, I denounced who I was, and I chased after formal education. I stopped speaking my language, I stopped beating, I stopped making and wearing regalia, I stopped being me. Years later, to alleviate this dissonance within myself, I started working with tribes and moved back home. I was finally starting to feel comfortable in my culture again when I began studying with WGU. To be honest, I was scared. It was this fear that had kept me out of school for 10 years. To my surprise, the innovative design and class structure allowed me to incorporate tribal communities into my studies for the first time ever. For example, I was able to examine relevant healthcare legislation with new eyes and recognize how it can be applied to tribal healthcare centers to help tribes generate revenue and in turn provide more services to address healthcare disparities in Indian country. I was finally able to apply the things that I was learning in my degree program to tribal government, Indian healthcare, tribal enterprises, and human services. In essence, I was able to be myself, hold true to my native culture, while getting the quality education that I need and deserve. WGU is special because it encourages students to apply the competencies that they are learning to their real lives, wherever that life may be. WGU has reintroduced education to me and taught me that I don't need to fit a preconceived mold to be successful. I can make success to fit me. To be a Native American woman sometimes feels like a battle. For years, I've struggled to exist between dichotomies, being a warrior and a peacemaker, a wage earner and a nurturer, and an Indian and a scholar. But today is a different day. Today, in the presence of my family, my fellow graduates, and the amazing WGU faculty, today, I get to be both. Pija'o.